also an issue that whenever the IT procurement goes wrong, I mean, there's new procurement guidelines in that executive for not IT but for general small business, but they haven't gone anywhere. And the second point is Sky recently sued, I think it was Accenture, where they sued some, and they sued them because Accenture said they could deliver this project, and in the end, they couldn't. They didn't make reasonable things. And I'm sure if that was applied to the public sector, there would be huge potentials there. But again, the government never, and there's £200,000, and they make it clean to get it back. The governments they're too afraid to do some projects, and then they're too afraid to actually speak.
And suppliers will generally make a much more generous settlement if there's a non-disclosure agreement in the settlement. So, okay, we'll give you some money. We're not going to accept your point. We're going to give you some money. Go away. But the terms of us giving you the money are that you can't disclose. You can't disclose the fact that we've had this settlement. And I think that's.
I think to follow on from David's point about that particular deal with Sky, the result of that will actually be that suppliers will charge more for their services to put in enough buffer to cover those deals where the intelligent customer challenges them. So it will result in more expensive IT projects than less expensive projects. That particular deal, I think it was EDS and then they've been bought over, but they pretty much, because of the competitive environment, had cut a lot of price out of the deal and promised a lot that they didn't have enough money to deliver, hoping that it would be caught out. So it'll just have the result.
And the issue was they didn't know. They made a statement saying we could do this.
Yeah. But that was the sales guys that said, rather, no offense to sales guys, but they'll promise a lot to get the deal, and then when it comes to delivery, it's just not possible.
I think the increased literacy is something that helps in the right direction. I mean, that example of the DTI website, in 2004, 2005, very few people knew what web accessibility was. I mean, the company I had, we used to specialise in accessible websites, but our problem was that we couldn't put a premium on the price. We couldn't say you have to pay a bit more because we'll build you a better website. Because all of our competitors came along and said, yeah, we do accessible websites as well. We put a text-only button on the site. That's accessible, isn't it? And most of the people who had to buy accessible websites said, yeah, probably. So you couldn't charge a premium for it, and that's one of the examples of this notion of the market for lemons. But I think now, if you were a public organisation or a largish organisation, and you were to have something that was in the public domain that said it did something, there's an awful lot more people now that understand actually no, it doesn't. And I think more people understand web standards. I think the idea of web standards is something that's a hugely positive thing, and it's something that's made a lot of this stuff better because more people are picking it up and more people know how to assess it. And also browsers. The fact is, if it don't work on Firefox, that's it. You don't need any of these diagnostic tools. You fire it up in Firefox, and if it don't work, it doesn't do what it's supposed to.
Some of the accessibility stuff does put a blocker using some of the latest technologies, some of the really creative social stuff.
So does Apple.
Yeah. Well, so
yes.
There's a balance to be struck.
That used to be the case. I don't believe, and actually, I mean, I've not worked in that aspect of web design now for a couple of years, but I sort of keep accessibility experts in my peripheral vision, and my understanding is that that's no longer the case. That generally there is, I mean, there are web standards for Flash now, for instance. So I'm aware that you came here to a session about 50 barriers, and we're now talking about procurement, and there is this rule that you can use your feet